Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for logging into this special Positive Monday. And I'm so glad that was given a chance to share with you guys. And partly now is also comes to the last lap of this year. So I suppose that I will try my best to give you some insight in depth of what I think Asian should do now. Okay, so perhaps I have to start now. Okay, always we will start with a disclaimer, so much so that all the information, materials, and the trainer views of this particular course do not tantamount to a provisions of any legal advisor or nor represents the positions of Orange and the trainer. So this is our stand, just to recap on this. And a little bit about me. Well, my name is Johnson Yan. And I've been in this industry for a little while, but before that, perhaps I will just flash some of the work I have done before. So these are the little achievements I've gone through in this lifespan of, 20 over years. So I am an advisor before with Great Eastern Life, and then importantly, also due to our performance, we work very hard for it, and I'm so glad that I was one of the coach to train the 6% life insurance agent, top agents in the whole industry. So other than that, you look at number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. Of course, number 8 is a time when I actually comes also to Orange Tea, and 6 years. And apparently, I'm a district director. I'm running a team comprises of about 100 with leaders and associates with me. Okay, this is my contact in case you guys want to log in my number. If you have any inquiries, things that you need to consult, do give me a tinker, and then I will try my best to help you guys. Okay, today my sharing. Actions speak louder than words. This topic is quite unique because many a times we don't action. A lot of times we actually see something, plan something, but at the end of the day, no action was taken. So to me, I find that I will have to give you a little bit on these little thoughts. Hope that it will help you to have some little time management planning, things like that. And I will just continue, and at the end of the day, hopefully you can take in some little thoughts from my sharing. Okay, now these words, actions speak louder than words. I think most of the time we don't just read and pitch whatever things that we thought we want to do. But at the end, that's why I bold it and tell you that many a times you have to put all these into actions, and not just purely talk only, NATO. Many of times agents don't really want to put it into a record and put it into writings. So I hope that after my sharing, some of you can pick in some ideas to follow. Now, today's objective for this little half an hour sessions, I want to emphasize is what do you want actually in this business? There are so many business out there. So at the end of the day, you choose to be a property agent, a salesperson. I'm sure this is definitely a good business for all of us. If not, we wouldn't be here so long. And later, I'm going to share a little bit on that, and then why you need to put actions more than just words. And this will relate to some of the time management. What do you need to plan your daily routines in order to put into action? Means you start to go out there and get your business. And of course, salesperson, you need to ASK. You need to really ask. So the last one I'm going to share is obviously on understanding the law a large number. It's not no more law of average, it's law of large number. So I will share these few tips in the next 25 minutes. Okay, the very common 1 million question is always we ask ourselves, right? Why are you here? So to some new agents, obviously you choose this for a reason, but I'm sure there are many of us are still in this industry. You also probably have a reason why you stay on. Later, I'm going to elaborate a little bit on some of the possible answers. Okay, so what do you want out of this particular business? Okay, these are some of the thoughts. What do you want? To make it in the industry, obviously this is your goal. Some may want to make it in the industry for the sake of a career. For some will probably wants to make enough for their retirements. So to make it in the industry, no, not difficult. How much money you want to make within the 1, the 2, and the 3, or even the 5 years? Because a lot of business outside, especially when you are working for somebody, your salary are more or less fixed. And then whatever you earn that particular year, you have to times the number of years in order to achieve a certain X dollar. But in this business, you still plan, but many a times you have already shortened the life's span. You need to really work on certain number of years. So I always put it 1, 2, 3, or 5, because many of the probably your peers or friends you have know of, right? In the first, in the second, and third year, they already make it. If they continue to work out there, it may take them 10 to 20 years to achieve the same amount of money they actually can get in our business. So I don't know whether this fall under one of your reason why you comes in. And many a times you want to also achieve to be the top 50, the 100 in the company, which is the right thing we're supposed to do. And then to have your name written somewhere. Obviously, you know, the top achiever, things like that. And to have another 1 or 2 or 3 properties. That's quite common also. Many agents comes in with, some of them with a HDB, and today they actually own a private, they even own a landed, things like that. So you may be one of them that once you have more than 1 properties, and that dream will come true. And maybe a dream car, have another wife, husband, or trade in your current 42 years old wife for a 21 years old. Oh, don't do this. This is probably just a joke, but just to make you all a little bit happier. But this is definitely not what we want you to do. And no need to work so hard, but you have enough money to spend. Oh, everybody will like this one, financial freedom, so that you can travel around the world. Of course, now we can't do much because of the COVID-19. Otherwise, many of us are actually planning, or even some of them are not in Singapore today. They are actually somewhere in the world. So this will definitely be one of the reason why. And at the end of the day, you may have to lead a balanced life. Balance means everything just nice. Don't just work so hard. No time for your family, no time to play. I think it should be a mix. No one plans to fail, but many fails to plan, all because of action. They never put everything into action. So today my sharing is more to action. What are the things that you need to do to make your name written somewhere, things like that. But again, ask yourself a very honest question. Am I working hard, or actually am I hardly working? Many agents I have seen in office, things like that, they always fall under 1 or 2 camps. One camp is always busy, coming in, fill up all the necessary document things, and then they move out. But there's always another group of people who will always talk about the market, things like that. But if let's say assume that someone are talking a lot of negative things, I suppose that you should not join this group of people, because at the end of the day, you will obviously be one of them. I'd rather you use that time to continue to do some prospecting and think positively. But if you don't have a dream, honestly, you don't deserve to have one too. So I suppose everybody have a dream. Why not make it, and then you will be happy And after 10, 20 years back, you look back, you will be very happy. Don't just dream, you have to take actions. Example, if you think that this is your dream car, what I always tell, and this is very, very effective because I did it during the time when I did have the 6% agents to be the top 6% agents in the world. They plan and they really execute what they actually plan. So assume that this is your plan, that, oh, my dream car is a BMW, my dream car is a Merc, whatever. Don't just dream. Why not go down to the showroom, test drive the car? When you test drive the car, the feeling is different, you know. When you test drive, you really feel. And if you bring your spouse, you bring your children along, I can tell you, if they like the car, every now and then they will start be, yelling at you, when we can own the car like that. That will give you another motivation drive to work towards this particular goal. But if you assume that this is not my dream, my dream is to have a house like this, or my dream to have another house like that, so be it. But then don't just dream. Get all these catalog, whether be in the car, whether be in the house, get this catalog and just paste it right in front of your desk. And this is a very great motivation for guys, for us, that every time when we are doing something, you look up, you see the car, doing something, you look up, you see the house, and that particular car and the house will one day be yours. And this is how powerful it is. And if you don't, then you will just, as good as just a dream. So put all this into action. Just go and visit. And if you think that this house, go and see, take a look at the house, and you will appreciate and you will come back and work harder to achieve all this. But again, survey will always show that not everybody will be successful, let me tell you, but just probably about 5% of these people will. So again, is this a good news? You ask me, yes, it could be because less competition. As you know, today we got about 30,000 agents in Singapore. So if let's say you are the 5%, I'm sure that is what we are looking forward to. So do whatever it takes to achieve that. But don't fall under the next category of the 95%, which will always give excuses for what they cannot achieve. And many a times they will wish to have this, wish to have a house, wish to have a nice watch, a nice bag, but all these are wishes because they never put into what? Action, just talk. And also not willing to do it or take orders, Sometimes leaders tell you what to do. Well, you have to just take in and then do it. The word is just do it, don't ask why. And always don't give excuses, because if you're a new agent, you will give excuses, maybe I'm new. But when you're experienced agent, you will say that, well, you could be, I'm a little bit old or no experience, etc. like that. So all these are not good for us, and don't blame everybody. If you want to blame yourself, because if someone tell you what to do and you don't execute, and at the end of the day, if you fail, then who to blame? And we all tend to the habit of blaming somebody, always as somebody, but you won't blame yourself. So I think at the end of the day, we should ask ourselves a question that, am I the one to be blamed, So don't deny, always don't go, just strike hard and you will achieve to the result. So fall under the 5%, okay? Work hard and be the 5%. All this by believing yourself. You have to believe yourself. No one can help you, because as a leader, I always tell my agents that believe in yourself, because if people can do it, there's no reason you can't, The question is you are doubting your own abilities, therefore you can't make it. So it's quite a sad thing to say so, but well, you have to really ask yourself these questions, that believe that whatever you do, believe that whatever you're able to achieve, whatever you want to do, you are able to achieve. Okay? Actually, it's believing in yourself, but if you can make that happen, you can make anything happen. So always believe yourself, and then you just work on it. Look at these particular photos. I really always like to flash these photos to any of us, even myself. And I always believe that this guy, I knew him many, many years. You look at that, it's 1995, 1996, 97. And this is one of the convention I attended in Toronto, in America. And I always like to take a photo with this guy, Mark. You look at him, he's actually physically handicapped, you know. He's on wheelchair. And just imagine every year he qualified for that $1 million round table, which is the top 6% agents in the world. And if a person handicapped and yet he can qualify year after year, then it reflected on ourselves that we are physically okay, but why can't we achieve? So I suppose it could be here we are actually mentally handicapped in such aspect, so to speak. So I suppose that if you look at this photo, if you want, you can now screenshot this photo, and then this is a very good reminder to us that if Mark can do it, I'm sure all of us can do it. So therefore, I'm glad that I really got a chance to take a photo with this guy, and he is the motivator for me. Every time when I come back, when I'm down, I always look at this photo. And I'm telling myself that if Mark can do it, there's no reason for me, I can't do it, you know. And we are always giving ourselves excuses after excuses. If we cannot make it, then you blame the industry, you blame the government, you blame everything. But honestly speaking, don't blame. Just ask yourself a question that, do you really work hard enough to put whatever you plan into action? If there's no action, no need to say it already. So I suppose this will be a very good reminder for you guys. If you want, you can take a photo, crop it. You can crop it, and then, well, this may actually help you. You can't go back and change the beginning of what you have done before. And you can obviously, you know, start where you are and then change the ending. Ending is, you know, when you retire one day and then you look back, are you still happy? Later I'll flash you a slide on that. So don't look back, because this is a very powerful slide. I always tell people, and this one is honestly for me. And many a times I saw this slide somewhere. Someone has actually used my slide, but I told everybody that no copyright, as long as and it's meant for good, you can just fetch it anywhere. And I saw a few of the people out there. Some are very, very prominent people. They are using something like this slide. So I think it's good for everybody. And I always believe that, ask ourselves, how many 10, 15, 20 years we have? Why I put 10, 15, 20 is because we fall under different age band, but it means a lot to us is that how many more 10, 15, 20 years you have. If today you are 35, today you are 40, you ask yourself how many 10, 20, 15 years you have again. Or if today you are 50 years old, how many? So make hay while the sun shines. During this period of time, work hard for it, and then forget about the history. You know, a lot of people say, once upon a time, I was achiever. There's once upon a time. Once upon always related back to stories. So that is not forget about this once upon a time. And yesterday already become history, and you should change the history. And what happens tomorrow obviously will be a history. Okay, so you can't change the past, but surely you can impact the future if you make an effort to put everything in action. And I can safely say that this slide helps a lot of people, because for a lot of us forgotten how many 10, 20 years. Nowadays they thought that they still got a lot of time. But honestly speaking, we don't need a lot of time to achieve what we want in life. You can quickly get everything, and then when you retire, you should be a very happy person. Okay, but winners don't do things differently, but they just do the things differently. So that is the challenge of winners, you know. So people can make it. There's no reason we can't. So it's all here, you know, the mindset of every individual. Preparation is the root of a success, but the main key to success is always what? You have to put everything in what? Actions. Don't just NATO, you know, NATO is just say only, so you must put everything in action. So you don't need to so-called, you know, see the whole staircase, but you just need the first step. What I always say is the first step. You dare to make the bold step, the first step to move on. And when you start to move on, right, everything will change. But if you don't do that, then obviously you will stagnant over there. But sometimes we always like to ask a lot, why I must do this, why I do it. So the best thing is you just blah blah, everything, don't care. People ask you to walk, you walk. Ask you to climb the stair, you climb the stair. Because if these are the achiever, they have gone through everything already. So you, in fact, we are very lucky that you have some shortcut. You know, you don't have to do so much thing. They just follow what they have tried, and from failure to success. So you don't ask it. Just do like Nike advertisement. Just do it. No need to ask so much. You ask, the more you ask, right, the more why come in for what. You just do it, do the right thing, and then the right time, and then the right reason. At the end of the day, you get what? The right result. That's so simple as that. But how many of us always have doubt on why? Why? So many why for what? You just move on. This is very simple. I always tell some of my agents, don't ask so much. If I tell you what to do, you just shadow, cannot. You just shadow or you just follow. And at the end of the day, the end result is what you see. And after a while, when they make it, they come back and thanks me, even say, boss, you are right, you know. I say, no need to ask one. We have gone through all this already. You must have faith in yourself. You have to faith in your leader. Whatever we tell you to do it, just do it, and then everything will be fine. So motivation is to get you what? To get to success. Your habit will always keep you going. Habits. But how many, is a very sad thing to say that, how many times we really look at our time management in the way we're supposed to do? Because especially our job is, some will say we are the own boss. Nobody control you. Even you don't come to office, no, your boss, your leader will not come and scold you or yell at you. No, all are on your own timing. You know. But because of that, also sometimes it make us we really don't discipline ourselves to do a lot of things that we need to do. So the next few slides will probably give you a little bit understanding of why habits you need to change, you know. Whether or not even today I am talking to you guys, but I think certain things I still have to change. There's no perfect plan. But if we don't change forever is where we are today. Okay, so the next thing, time management. Why I like to share time management, because during my early days when I do a lot of trainings, right, I always like to come back to time management, because if you don't manage your time well, a lot of things you will not able to fulfill. And everybody got 24 hours, you minus away your sleeping time, you minus away a lot of things. Honestly, you don't have much time to really do prospecting. And then you have to really do this. So let me show you this one. Okay, maybe a little exercise now. Since we are here, can everyone just do me a favor? Take out your mobile phone now, goes to the calendar, and then what you need to do, look at 2 weeks from now. What is on 12th of October? Take a look. You yourself know. No need to tell anybody. There's no need to put, there's no checkbook for you to put in the answer. But just do this little exercise now. Okay, 2 weeks from now, I've been actually trying this exercise many rounds, and the answer comeback is most of us are 2 weeks from now on 12th October. I don't think you have any appointments on your calendar now. Okay, I mean you can see yourself now. I can assure many of you that there's nothing written on the 12th of October. Of course, some of you may have I cannot say no but very high chance there's nothing. All because of what is 2 weeks from now. But even I were to say on the 5th of October, which is 1 week earlier, 1 week from now, very high chance is some of you will still have nothing there. The reason is because we never have the habit to fill up our calendar with activities. You know, activities is the main key to have a lot of closing. Because if you have no activities, as good as nobody to see, nothing to plan, nothing to do. So try to fill in your calendar with something on every day. And every day is actually a very important day, especially now it's the last lap. Whether you like it or not, another 2 days, 3 days. Today is 28, 29, 30. Then become October already, scaring. October, November, December, end of the year. Only left 3 months. Whether you can make it, whatever happening this year is only 3 months time. So question, today there's no more time to waste. You have to buck up and then double up your activities, double up everything to make good. Due to the CB period, some of you may not able to close a lot of deals, and you need to really work hard for these 3 months in order to see a very good 2020. So this is a little exercise only, but I'm sure you can see on your calendar, 12th of October, most of you may not have any appointment. So please try to fill up all the dates. And then sometimes you don't know what you are capable until you do what? You are out of your comfort zone. So of course, sometimes it's by choice, sometimes it's by force. Look at now, left 3 months, it's obviously you have no choice. You are like actually forcing yourself to make it. So that sometimes is good, because if sometimes it's too relaxed in the comfort zone, a lot of things may not happen. So this may be good, and I will fetch you something very interesting now. That this one I will not want to share much, because I just quickly go through. Is that every morning, are you ready to start work? This is important because now work at home, some of you work from home, some of you totally very relaxed. Nobody control you. You can sleep up to what time you like. But then the question is, you have to make an effort that you have to wake up at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. You have to really wake up and get everything ready and really ready for work, even though you are working from home. That happens to even 20 years back already, not now. I got a friend who is a qualifier year after year. This guy, olden days, he already worked from home. He liked to work from home. So what he did was, every morning when he wake up, he will finish his breakfast. After breakfast, he will wear his business shirt, put up everything, wear a tie, and then after that he adjourned back to his room. And then that is where he actually start his day of work. So inside, of course, he will do all his prospecting, do whatever you need to do. But he's already dressed up to tell himself subconsciously that he's ready, ready to see anybody at any time. But do we do that? If you're at home, I don't think you dress up to stand by. But what happens if you don't stand by? Many a times, like you may have some center of influence, COI, you have friends that refer somebody to you. And the worst thing, if someone is just with that person, most of the time they are with that person having coffee, having some discussion, and then your name was being mentioned. And then they call you and ask you whether you can join them because this guy wanted to look for a property or want to invest. And then the worst part is you are not ready. And most of the time you will say, oh, shit, I cannot do anything then. How I still haven't showered, I haven't make up, I haven't do everything, and you need a longer time. But the question is, sometimes they cannot wait for you. But when you are ready, anytime you can move out of the house. That's what my friend is doing. He dress up and just stand by. At any one time, there's an appointment. Oh, no problem. I can come down next 20 minutes time. But if you're not ready, you need 2 hours. So therefore, you have to start to plan. If you are working from home, please really get everything ready. Any moment you can go out of your house to meet your prospect, to show house, things like that. So how to turn your time into success? I give you this example, very fast one. You have to set your priorities. Attend to all the important tasks first. Because every day there are so many things to do, and many a times we tend to do something that's not so important first, and then the important one we never do. Then comes at the end of the day, you can't accomplish all this, So I rather you set your priorities to do what? Identify your gold time, your silver time, and your bronze time. Gold time are something that you need to do one. Whether you like it or like today, if you had an appointment with the banker to do something which is also very important, you have to go. And you have an appointment with a lawyer, appointment with a client, all these are gold time. Silver are a little bit not so important, but still important. So you actually list them out into second priority. Bronze are something, well, you still need to attempt to do it, but you still can put them at the very, very last. So this I leave it to you to identify your gold time, your silver time, and also your bronze time. So I ask you a question. Now, if your mother-in-law birthday, classify under what time? Gold time, silver time, bronze time? Oh, mother-in-law, mother-in-law important or not? Or let's phrase it like, if your girlfriend's mother birthday, is it important? Can you don't go because you are courting after her daughter? I leave it to you to decide. So these are the little things about set your gold time, silver time, and bronze time. The next thing don't procrastinate. Everything, the biggest killer is actually procrastination. So also don't put off whatever you can do today until tomorrow. So the next thing I'm going to share about is a typical case of a salesperson who actually put all his planning in action. Because today I'm talking about action, but you just don't, you have to put it in action, you have to put it in action. And honestly, this particular person, you look at the schedule, I can't be one of them. I don't know how he has the time. I flash one shot and show it to you all. So you can take a look. From early morning, 7 a.m., he starts to do a lot of things until noon time. You take a look, non-stop, a lot of activities, and then followed by afternoon. All the way until what? Night time. And this is his daily routines. How many of us can do this? Perhaps we also cannot even have half of our time to do all this, but this guy really spent so much time doing everything. I suppose he's a leader because you can see he also have some time talking to his agent or something like that. So he must be one of the leader. So guess what happened at the end of the day? At the end of that year, he became the top 3% agent in the whole world, and he clocked in how many cases? 514 cases within a year. Obviously, he's an insurance advisor, but he's still a salesperson. But you just imagine his determination, his drive, and all he put into action. Within that 1 year, he's not the 6% I'm talking about. Earlier, remember, I told you I'm one of the coach training the 6% top agent in the world. But he is the 3%. He's the 3%. His production is 3 times of what a normal agent's doing. We are talking about the $1 million round table. So to achieve that category of 3% is actually 3 times of the normal sales. And this person actually do it. And he clocked 514 cases within a year. That means how many this person has been seeing in order to clock in this number. So all this narrow down to what? Mindset. If he thinks he wants to do it, you have to action and do it. And this one can be related. No worry about whether it's an insurance, it's a property. It's the same. At the end of the day, all of us are salesperson. So you can use this as an example to tell you that I need to close how many cases on. You just do it. And at the end of the day, very high, to be honest with you, you will achieve one. This one I don't want to share, but this is roughly a timetable to show you that you have to plan what you want to do. So you just look at these are some of the very good example. They even put it in what you want to do, because you cannot just put it everything inside your subconscious mind. You have to write it down, and then you can see it, visualize it. Then you were able to follow this and do all this. So during my one-to-one session with my agents, I always tell them that you have to write it down. You have to do it. If you just always you don't write down, it will very hard for you to attempt and complete all this within that specified period of time. So all these are good examples to show you. I'm going to skip this because this is just some action plans. So I think I move to the very important one. It's all about, okay, one action is better than 1,000 intentions. So you have to put everything into action. Don't just NATO talk, no use. So the miracle word for our business is what? You need to ask. Whether you like it or not, as a salesperson, ask shall be given. So whatever you think of, who you want to say, you always remember that open your mouth and ask. If you don't ask, even you go for a wedding dinner, you know, of course now there's a restriction of the numbers lah. Normally a traditional Chinese wedding dinner, you sit 10 person, right? So if you come alone or with your spouse or with your someone, you still got 8 person to talk to. But how many of you really open your mouth and ask? Maybe you say hi, 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 and then after that you continue. But there's agents very smart during this period. While waiting, as you know, dinner don't start early, 8:30 or 9. So they come early and then they start to mingle and talk to these people. And there is where you get a lot of extra leads that may eventually turn out to be your seller, your buyer, or your landlord and tenants, you know. All these because you must ASK with them, ask shall be given, give them your name card or get their contacts and follow up after the dinner. That's where you're able to achieve. So always remember that no will brings you much closer to a yes. Because again, not all will say yes to you, but never mind. No will come closer to a yes, because the next slide I'm going to share with you is that this one will relate to what do I mean by a no. Sometimes a no is also important. We call it the law of large average. Is always, we hear people say law of average, right? But law of average, you get what? Probably you get average result. But law of large number, the word is large, you know, large. Large is obviously big, right? So you have to collect the number of no's. Which nobody teach you this again, honestly speaking, because every time even your leader, everybody tell you that you must go and get a yes. But honestly speaking, if you understand what is law of average, you should able to start collecting the no in your lifetime. And how many no's is considered enough? I can't answer that question, because you yourself were able to know that in your lifetime, the word is lifetime, you should collect how many? 10, 20, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, or what? 2,000? That I leave it to you. And then what is the meaning for all this? Okay, example, I give you an example. Like today, you need to meet 8 people. You're going to see 8 people. Now, these 8 people being Mr. Tan, Mr. Rahman, Mr. Lim, but the setting is everybody give you a no answer. Everybody give you a no. Okay? So, assume Mr. Tan, okay, let's put it, maybe it's a door knocking exercise. You knock at Mr. Tan's door. And then our friend look at you, then you just identify yourself as an agent, then you strike a conversation. So during that, then our friend asks you a question. You ask me to sell the house. Now the house is so expensive. After that, can I buy back a new BTO? Oh, you probably a new agent, or you can't answer. Then our friend discount you and say no to you. So after that, I ask you, will you sit on it, or will you go and check with your leader or find out the answer? Okay, there's one of the example. Or maybe you talk to Mr. Rahman. Mr. Rahman actually owns a private house. And then now they want to buy another one. But as you know, you buy another one, you have to pay ABSD, you know. So he asks you, say, is there any way that I can buy another house? I don't want to pay ABSD. Oh, you can't answer. Actually, you can decoupling, blah, 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 all this, right? But you cannot answer. So our friend say no to you. But will you go and find out the answer? Obviously, you find right. So if next time someone asks you the same answer, same question, will you able to answer? So that is what I mean by you start to collect the number of no's, and then you just continue. So at the end of the day, right, are you happy or are you sad with the number of no? Maybe after today, wow, so tired. After that, you go back, you tell your wife, so honey, today I'm so happy, you know. Then your wife thought, what happened? Wow, today, do you know, I knocked at 8 doors. No one give me an appointment. Everybody turned no to me. Then I'm so happy. I think your wife will say something wrong to my husband. Maybe I need to bring him to see a doctor, because I don't know what happened to him. Everybody should be very sad because no one give a yes to him, to my husband. But our friend, so happy. All because of what? He understand what? The law of large number. The meaning with, let's say your lifetime is 1,000 no. Now you got 1,000 no. Now you got 8 no's. Am I correct? You minus away 1,000, minus away 8. Because it's a lifetime, you have to achieve. the number. So eventually, if the number were to come down, you should be happy. But the question, as I mentioned, is not that, you know, once there's a no, right, you will not sit on it. You will go and find out why people don't give you the appointment. And next time when someone asks you the similar question, can you answer? And when you can answer, am I correct that the chances of getting a yes is very high already? There's no reason you still get a no one. So therefore, this is where the exercise comes in, that just go and collect. If they say no to you, it's okay, just move on, you know. The day will come that you will still get a yes. But if you don't do anything now, and then when someone say no to you, you feel very upset, and then you will blame everybody, you know, stupid job, why, you know, I shouldn't have come into this life, blah, 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 all these negative thoughts comes in. So start today and then try to go and pick up all the no's. It's okay one. And at the end of the day, you will be very happy to get all the yes. So the question now comes, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do then, by the ones you did. So 20 years from now, when you look back, you should be, oh, whatever I want to do, I actually achieve. Rather than you'll be very disappointed if you cannot finish all the things that you're supposed to accomplish during this period of time. So I suppose that most of us should start to plan. And then obviously we always say, work hard, don't kill, you know, but the stretch does. But if you don't work hard, the commission don't comes in, I think it really kills. So therefore, our job is, our life, as you know, is based on commissions. So if no sales come in, obviously we don't have any income. So therefore, at the end of the day, I think as long as we put everything into action, I'm sure at the end of the day, there's no reason why we cannot achieve. Well, looking at the time, is definitely more than the half an hour. So time really flies fast. I think I can only cover so much at this point of time. And then always remember to put everything in action. So run your last leg 2020, left only that miserable 3 months. We better buck up ourselves and work hard for it. Okay. So your action will bring you to success. But if you don't put everything into action, then you are still at where your beginnings from. So I suppose that will give us a very good understanding about actions is better than words. Thank you, everybody, and hope to see you guys soon. And then all the best to you. Thanks for the time